It is Tuesday, Minties, and depending on where you get your collected editions, it's new trade paperback day. So join me as I take a look at these 6 trades coming out today or tomorrow, depending on where you get your books, from Marvel Comics. So please stay tuned. Okay, now, before we get started, I'd like to say a thank you to David Gabriel and the folks at Marvel for sending us advanced copies of these books. Like I said, the books come out on January 22nd. That's when they're scheduled to come out. But sometimes, depending on where you get your collected editions, they come out on Tuesday, January 21st. So let's take a look at Punisher Kill Krew first. So here we have Punisher Kill Krew. This was the mini-series that took place after the War of the Realms events. It retails for $17.99. It is written by Jerry Duggan with artwork from Juan Ferreira. And let's see, how do I describe this miniseries? I read the first issue. Marvel was kind enough to send me an advanced copy of it, and I went ahead and read the rest digitally because I love the concept. I think Jerry Duggan has a really good understanding of the Punisher and what he stands for. So without giving much away, the Punisher, I gotta show you the ending of the first issue. It's not that big of a spoiler. He makes a promise to some orphans, and you all know how the Punisher is about keeping his word. And he steals Thor's goat so he can travel through the Bifrost. And he acquires a crew of the Juggernaut, the Black Knight, and even Foggy Nelson to get revenge on, I'm not going to say the characters or why he's doing it, but it is such a cool and funny ride. And there is some really, really powerful stuff here towards the ending of the book as to why he's doing these things. So it collects Punisher Kill Krew 1 through 5. It was a 5-issue miniseries. And then a little bit of the War of the Realms Omega number 1. It is 128 pages. I mean, how much... I would just read a monthly comic with this team. And of course, I've always been a sucker for the Black Knight. 128 pages, $17.99. And let's look back here at the extras. Here we have some variants. Mike Zeck, who drew the Punisher for a while. Gerardo Sandoval, who has a very Humberto Ramos style. He drew the Guardians of the Galaxy 3000. And David Yarden, who did a lot of the work on X Factor and some stuff for DC. But this, if you want to read where it all started, it was in the World of Realms, the Punisher miniseries. But this series was a lot of fun. So speaking of War of the Realms, here we have Jane Foster. This is her very first trade paperback of her new ongoing series. It retails for $17.99. So this cover and this book is a bit of a spoiler with a title like that. Jane Foster, Valkyrie. That's the name of the book. Now you have Al Ewing joining Jason Aaron as writing duties. You have a bunch of different artists that took on the book. The covers are wonderful, though. I'm a big fan of the covers. So everything is set up in the War of the Realms Omega. And then she kicks off her own series. I love that wonderful cover by Russell Dauterman, who was drawing Thor at the time and drew Thor when Jane Foster was Thor. So like I said, there's a little bit of spoilers within the cover and the pages. So she is now donning the Valkyrie name. And the reason for that is because of events that happen in War of the Realms that I can't get into and won't get into. 128 pages is how long this book is, $17.99. And it collects, like you saw, material from War of the Realms Omega. That's what kicks it off. And then Valkyrie Jane Foster 1 through 5. It is an ongoing series, so I don't think Jason Aaron wrote anything past issue 5, but I could be mistaken. But Al Ewing is the head writer on the book. Now let's look at the extras here. And of course you have a bunch of variants. Still love that variant by Russell Dauterman. Kind of reminds me of Arthur Adams a lot, that particular art style. Stephanie Hans, and just some others. And I guess, yeah, they were doing Immortal variants throughout that month at Marvel. And then where else you can read Thor from Jason Aaron that led to these events happening in these books here. And speaking of Al Ewing, here is another series from him. This is Ironheart. It retails for $17.99. This collects the ongoing series by Al Ewing. And what is the artist's name? Luciano Vecchio. That's it. Luciano Vecchio. Was a very cartoony look to his artwork. Not a lot of backgrounds, and very anime-ish, honestly. But It fits the story and the character. My daughter loves this run, so I'm excited for her to read this particular volume because it teams Ironheart up, Riri Williams, with the Wasp. So I know that she really enjoyed the Wasp, and I know she loved Volume 1 of Ironheart, so I can't wait for her to read this. So it's Ironheart. That's what Riri Williams is going as. She was at one time Iron Man, created by Brian Michael Bendis. And let's see. The series in here is, or the issues, sorry, in here are Ironheart 7 through 11. It is 128 pages. So you can tell, like I said, even his older guys look a lot cartoony and almost like young kids. Just dudes with mustaches. But I do love, honestly, I do love the way he draws his ladies. It's a pretty cool artist rendition of these characters that, they look more like their movie counterparts than they do their comic counterparts, but I get it. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. And anybody, New Warriors, come on, how could you not get excited about Silhouette? My girl finally appearing there in a non-New Warriors comic. So let's look at the extras in the back. I know there's 5 of us that get excited every time a new warrior appears, but there we go. Here are some character designs. I love looking at this stuff behind the scenes. Page art. And that's it. Now, one of the things I was asked to do by some of my viewers is to hold and focus on the spines. So you have the complete collections here. I love complete collections because they're as thick as epics, and we'll talk a little bit about those when we get there. But here are the thinner trades. They have this white spine on them that they've had for quite a number of years, since the all-new Marvel years. This volume brings me so much pleasure to do an overview of really quick. I'm trying to go as quickly as possible, but sometimes I get stuck on these books that I really enjoy and mean a lot to me. But this is Agents of Atlas, the Complete Collection, Volume 2. I was worried that it didn't sell enough to warrant a Volume 2, this Agents of Atlas Complete Collection, because it's one of the most underrated gems that Marvel ever produced in the later, I want to say in the last like 10 years. If you go back and watch my top 10 most wanted Omniboo, it is one of the ones that I want. Like it made it into my top 20 list from Marvel Comics. But it is all Jeff Parker. He's joined by several artists on this, and it has 448 pages. So, like I said, they are as thick as epic books. But if I were to, seriously, people always ask me, what do I recommend? I guess some of you all enjoy the same books I do. But out of all these books, I highly recommend going back and finding Volume 1. It's still in print. And then if you enjoy that, go and finish it out with this. I think it's all you need is these 2 complete collections. And like I said, maybe one day we will get an omnibus. It is highly underrated. It's a lot of fun. It's like this mix of modern age with golden age storytelling, with espionage. It's just a really damn good book that didn't get a lot of love and recognition as it was coming out. So this particular volume collects the remaining Agents of Atlas, the 2009 series, 6 through 11. And then, of course, to boost sales, that series got canceled, and it became, I want to say, Agents of Atlas versus X-Men versus Agents of Atlas. There was a 2-issue series of that. Avengers versus Agents of Atlas, 1 through 4. And then it even has some of his Thunderbolts run, issues 139 and 140. And then some of the material from Assault on New Olympus, the prologue. And Incredible Hercules, 138 through 141. And Hercules, Fall of an Avenger, 1 through 2. And let's look at these extras in the back. Do I have Marvel Boy? So you have the connecting covers here from Humberto Ramos. This is from the X-Men versus Agents of Atlas. It wasn't even Agents of Atlas versus X-Men or Avengers or Agents of Atlas versus Avengers. It was Avengers versus Agents of Atlas. And let's see, a profile on Agent Derek Kanata. And then, of course, your characters here. Namora, Jimmy Woo, and Gorilla Man, who are my favorites. They were Uranian, who was Marvel Boy one time. Let's see. and some more little extras in the back. And another series that deserves a lot of love, but that's for another day. Now here's a book that I notice because of the cover, and that's an Adam Hughes cover. This is Invisible Woman. It retails for $15.99, and it is written by Mark Waid, and that's the main reason why I read it. However, the artist here, Mattia De Luis, oh my god, I fell in love with his artwork. It is freaking gorgeous, and the way that he draws, I don't know if this is a real life like model that he's using, but maybe it was the colors. It reminds me a lot of like Phil Noto's artwork, but I really, really enjoyed this book. It is freaking beautiful. And you have covers by Adam Hughes, but the internal artwork is gorgeous. And this is one that I didn't want people to miss because, A, it's written by Mark Waid. And Mark Waid wrote, to me, one of the best runs, top 3 for sure, best runs of Fantastic Four. So it's nice to see him come back and write one of the characters again. And B, this wonderful artist right here, Mattia, oh my gosh. Whatever they draw next, I'm following, because this is stunning, is one word I can use to describe it. It is 112 pages, $15.99, and collects the 5-issue miniseries. Pretty much what happens is that S.H.I.E.L.D. calls Sue Storm to come back to do one more mission, and she's teamed up with Natasha, which I'm sure you saw, the Black Widow, and I'm not going to tell you what the mission is, but it's pretty interesting to see her just separated from her entire family and friends. Let's look in the back here at extras. So you have a Hidden Gem variant. This is the Jack Kirby variant. And then Amanda Connor and Paul Mounts issue number 2 variant. Okay, Marvel Comics thinking way ahead, but we know we have a TV show of Bucky and Falcon coming out. And this is the Sam Wilson collection. $39.99. Like I mentioned, it's one of those epic, non-epic books. These are complete collections. This is volume 1, and it's Captain America, Sam Wilson. Or, I'm sorry, Sam Wilson, Captain America. I am going to do an overview of the Ta-Nehisi Coates Captain America hardcover, so stay tuned for the channel. Check out the channel, come back and watch. Do an advanced overview of that, because that book comes out, I think, in February. And like I mentioned, all these books are due out on January 22nd, but some people like to release those Marvel trades and other trades on Tuesdays. So, Carlos Pacheco on artwork. So yes, most of this stuff, you actually no, it's a fair balance. You have Rick Remender kicking it off. You have Dennis Hopeless, Nick Spencer. These are all people writing the book. And then on art, you have Carlos Pacheco, Stuart Eminem, Daniel Acuna, Mike Choi, and Luca Pizzari. And that's just to name a few, because it's a huge collection, because this starts off during Rick Remender's Cap run. So, it collects Captain America 25, that's the Rick Remender issue. All New Captain America Fear Him, 1 through 4. That was the miniseries. All New Captain America 1 through 6. Amazing Spider-Man number 1, Inhuman Special number 1, All New Captain America Special number 1, and Captain America Sam Wilson 1 through 6. So you get it in a chronological order. Is so awesome to have books like this, because it makes it so much easier than collecting skinny trades like these with different numbers. Like, where do I go next? This is volume 5. Do I jump on the miniseries next? There's 2 volume 1s. It makes it so much easier. I mean, yes, I'm the guy on the YouTubes. I sound like an old man on YouTube that does the comprehensive reading orders for that reason. But these complete collections make my job so much easier. Now let's look here in the back for extras. This particular volume, by the way, like I said, it's epic, non-epic, so they're thick. 488 pages. And a retail price of $39.99. So here's all the variant covers. I really like that John Tyler Christopher cover. That's beautiful. Scotty Young. Oh, yes, and of course, Alex Ross supplying the main cover here on the front page. And Daniel Acuna here in the back. It's a ton of variants. So much so that they don't get their own page. They get to share a page with others. Damn, that is a good cover. I've never seen that one. A lot of the time when I open these books up, it's literally for the first time for me. You have sketches, behind the scenes stuff. And When these books come out, or if they're already out, you can purchase them from cheapgraphicnovels.com, your online home for brand new graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. Cheap Graphic Novels prides itself on packaging your books so they arrive safely and in excellent condition, as well as prompt and helpful service. Cheap Graphic Novels Black Friday sale is continuing all through December, so there's still time to save up to 95% off thousands of books. Additional books will be added throughout the month, so be sure to check back often and stay tuned to CGN on social media to be the first to know when the new books have been added to the sale. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discounts, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the contents of each of the books. Let me know in the comments down below if you are picking any of these trade paperbacks up. Like I said, I highly recommend Agents of Atlas. That is one of my favorite, most underrated runs, and hopefully one day we will get an omnibus. I'm a big fan of these complete collections like the Captain America, so let me know in the comments down below how you feel about the complete collections. Whether you like how thick they are, or if you'd rather stick to these skinny trades. Again, this was the Uncanny Omar. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, and remember, if it's classy and cool, it must be near mint.